people, you are welcome to the midi edition of the program Living Legends and Don't Call Me, heavily produced by Afro TV.
My name is Kwabena Nketia, and I usually precede it with JH, Kwabena Nketia. JH happens to be my colonial name, Joseph Hansen, but that I keep only to remind myself of the change that I've gone through from the colonial days to the present. I went to school in Mampo, Ashanti. That's where I come from. And from Mampo, I went to the training college at Ekropon. And after training as a teacher, I taught at Ekropon for 2.5 years. Then I had scholarship to go to England, to London, in fact, to study. And I was in England for 5 years. The first 2 years to do some studies in linguistics, and the next 3 years to continue and do courses leading to the BA degree of the London University.
Emeritus Professor J.H. Kwabena Nketia is my father. I'm the eldest of 4 children, and we are 2 boys, 2 girls. My father, of course, my father is my father. I was born 52 years ago, and I've known my father ever since I started working.
I grew up in a certain environment, which is also important for me. My parents were non-literate, and it meant that I had the opportunity of going to traditional things, and especially traditional drumming and dancing. I loved this as a child. I'll go to Sikebe when they were playing, and I'll dance. I'll go to Ntang when they were performing it. And my parents would allow me to go to the next village if there was a performance there and I was interested in it. So my first few years, in fact 7 years, I was just going to traditional things. Then my parents decided I should go to school like other other children. So I went to class 1, Presbyterian primary, Mampo Ashanti, and I met other children. And school life was also fascinating for me. Singing hymns and so forth was also fascinating for me. But I was lucky. Nobody said, sing only hymns, don't sing the traditional song. I did everything. So there was no conflict between the Western things in school and the things in the community. And I went through my primary school, the primary, I think it's for 5 years. The first year, they jumped me to class 3. From class 1, I went to class 3. And then in middle school, and then when I was in middle school, I had to take the entrance examination for Ekropon Training College. And so that's how I got there. I was very fortunate. My headmaster wanted me to sit for the exam. My uncle, who was looking after me, was not so interested in that exam. He wanted me to finish standard 7, and he would find money and secure me at a place so I can be a shop assistant. But when the result came and I was second on the list, he was persuaded to allow me to go to training college.
Let's go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, the program is going to be more entertaining and interesting.
Ago Ghana! Afro TV presents Living Legend.
This is an order. It is not a request.
I can speak so many languages, so my patients feel comfortable with me.
Ghana Bar is a combination of many.
So on Monday when I saw the papers, I decided to quit football for good.
Living Legends was brought to you by Afro TV. Ago Ghana!
I am professionally an ethnomusicologist, but I'm also interested in the creative aspect of music. I compose music, and my interest in composition started when I was at the Akropong Training College. This is the place where Dr. Mu established his work in African music.
And I found Nketia to be very jovial man, very honest, straightforward, and a statesman. Somebody who when he say yes, is yes. Somebody when he say no, is no. He's very brave, articulate, and I like him because he's always. I never see him being ever annoyed or anything. In everything, he just take it calmly and address the issue as it is, or as it should be.
When I went to the training college, Amu had gone, but Reverend Danso was there. And he was teaching us the things that Amu used to teach in the area of African music, as well as other things in Western music. So this is where I got my training and my interest in African music. I had heard some of Amu's songs while I was in the primary middle schools. So the name of Amu kept on ringing in my ears. Unfortunately, I met him, I think during the fourth year of my stay in Akropong. So this was also very important for me because he had heard that I was interested in composition and he wanted to encourage me. But the kind of encouragement he gave me was very interesting. Amu started his revolution in African music when he was quite young. 1927, he was not really old. And I was a young man at the Akropong when I met him in my 20s. And he said, "Young man, you are interested in composition?" I said, "Yes." And then he told me, "Don't copy my music." So that was good. What he meant was that I should go back to the village and learn our traditional music. That is what he did before he started writing Yengara, Asasini, and all the nice songs that we hear Amu composed. So I did the same thing. I also went back to my hometown, Amampa Asante, and I learned Adwa songs, Mobombe songs, Nyonkro, and the singers who were there were very good. They will sing the song, then I'll take my notebook and start writing, and they'll sing it line by line. And then when I finish writing it down, they'll ask me to read it over to them. Then they'll check the words and tell me about the songs. So I came back to Akropong with a notebook containing song texts, and I learned to sing the songs with them. So that was my first important lessons in African music taught by the traditional people themselves. I became very interested in the Twi language too, because I was studying traditional songs. The proverbs, the phrases, the metaphors, and so forth became very interesting to me. And so I also learned how to write Twi poetry.
Ago Ghana! Afro TV presents Living Legend.
Onimo, this is an order. It is not a request.
I can speak so many languages, so my patients feel comfortable with me.
Ghana Bar is a combination of many.
So on Monday when I saw the papers, I decided to quit football for good.
Living Legends was brought to you by Afro TV. Ago Ghana!
good people, this is just the end of part 1 of the story of our guest and our legend. Until same time next week, this is Kingsley Kwafo Otopa and the Afro TV crew saying bye-bye.
Afro TV, redefining Africa's heritage.